Hey, day 62, this is going to be a supplement. This is part two to a story I did earlier about Eric Braverman in Haiti. As I mentioned, I'm putting all my notes, all my citations and sources in the slides of this presentation, this Google Slides presentation. So you can go there and look at all the citations. And thank you to all the contributors who've been putting in citations, because I'm going to put all those on those slides. And so there's so many citations that the description in YouTube would not allow enough room. So today I'm just going to follow up on this Haiti thing, and then I'm going to show how you can use kind of an extortion. You can partner with law enforcement to actually extort gifts, contracts, speeches, contributions, deals, etc. So I'm not going to make any friends with this one in Quantico, but anyway, if you watch this morning, IHRC is the funding mechanism. It's the funnel in Haiti that Braverman creates. Now, interestingly enough, if Hillary hires McKinsey to go do this, and she's, again, acting as a private citizen if she's using Gmail, and she is creating basically a pass-through funnel to launder money, it's called a state actor. So that allows us to subpoena these emails. So these McKinsey emails are now a part of a crime, of a RICO conspiracy. So those are available to be subpoenaed. If it also is shown that we're trying to affect oil policy that KKNR Global Institute is affecting, then those emails to KKNR Global Institute are also discoverable and subpoenaable by either the Hillary email committee or in private lawsuit or government lawsuit. So I just wanted to say that the emails aren't just Sid's emails. This is exactly how we discovered the Libya topple, was because Sid's private emails. David Petraeus also has private emails at CENTCOM. So all along the way here, we're not just talking about subpoenaing the people in the Clinton Foundation, the 14 Gmail accounts. Laura Graham's emails are going to be very important, because what caused her to want to drive off the Staten Island ferry and commit suicide before Braverman kind of was brought in to kind of save the day. So this all goes back to 2010. But what I should note here is that there are politicians in Haiti that say that Clintons have stolen from the island for 25 years. So, and I'll prove that today. So here's Jeff Skoll again. And he's kind of like the social justice face. He's putting a social justice face on this construction company from the Middle East. This is the largest pipeline and road construction company, and also construction for high rises. So it's kind of a triangle. Their symbol even shows that. And you can think of that, and this is kind of the guy who owned this was very close with the Council on Foreign Relations. So he made a lot of trips to New York and so forth. So you're going to find that all around the UN and so forth, there are going to be all these meetings, and the Council on Foreign Relations meetings in New York. So New York is definitely the hub, and you're going to find the World Bank in Washington, D.C. That's where another hub of activity is going to go on. These emails on all these entities that are created are also discoverable. So this is going to be, when Hillary, sends her $6 billion down here to Haiti through a series of proposals, that email may be hidden on her server of the 33,000 emails or the 650,000 of HUMAs, but there's going to be a companion email on the other side for somebody at the World Bank. And there was a lot of World Bank favors that were done. And matter of fact, they even appointed the first president who was not a U.S. person, I believe, to the World Bank when the Clintons were there. So all these Tembo's emails, this is Braverman's consulting firm, along with Jeff Skoll, are going to be discoverable. So as are all these other companies that are brought in and the joint ventures, they're all going to have emails. So now I can hear all the bleach bit sales going up while I'm doing this. But so I just wanted to point out that I'm not the one saying that the Clintons exploited the Haiti. The people of Haiti are saying it. And in this presentation down at the bottom here, you'll see those citations where you can have it on video, where the person's saying it directly on video, as well as the news articles that came out about it. So this is going to this fundamental buying into part of an area of a country and then destroying the other part of the country to get people to migrate over here to take the jobs that take the little development project you've got outlined here is being repeated over and over again. It's being repeated in Greece and other places like that. It was obviously repeated in Libya. It's being repeated in Syria. It's the same thing. Get the rights, then cause the calamity somewhere else, and then they migrate to your area. Now, what I predicted in the last video was hotel development and so forth, and I disagree with that now that I've looked more into CCC, Consolidated Contractors. I believe that's going to happen just across the border in the other area of Dominican Republic. I think this is where your LNG port is going to be. They do a lot of LNG ports. And you notice when I outlined Western Sahara, I also outlined where the LNG port would be, where the electrical grid was going to be, where the water pipeline was going to be, and where the petroleum pipeline was going to be, as well as where the offshore drilling was going to be. So I think this is going to be your kind of like Long Beach. If you've ever gone on the Long Beach oil terminal, this is going to kind of be that, in heavy industrial, and this is going to be kind of your comfort workers here at the textile place, so that the men will, have comfort. And you're going to hear this president. If you go to the video, you're going to hear the president of the Senate in Haiti say that it's a guy by the name of O'Brien, and you're going to hear him say that Fusion came in and took over the telephone business, and then came in with this Digicel GPS, so they knew where the people are all the time, and you're going to hear them talk about the microfinancing, and this is going to. There's so many records created when you have cell phone records, and there's so many GPS records that is going to also be discoverable, and we're going to be able to prove them through the movements of the people what's actually happening. For instance, if you have a cement company here, what you can do, and I'm getting aid now from U.S. aid, and then let's say I got $1 billion contract to build a road right here. What I can do is I can hire Haitians here. I can fill the cement truck up, and they can go over to the place where they're supposed to pour the foundation, pour one foundation, and then drive across the border and pour 50 foundations over here. And this is exactly what a lot of people have reported in Haiti is, there's all these Haitian workers and all these cement trucks and so forth. And if you look at the building projects that failed in Haiti, they all were about 5 to 10% complete. Some died after about 2%, but they were pouring the foundations to show Eric Braverman, yeah, we're actually doing these projects, but then the cement trucks were being diverted over to Dominican Republic. They can cross this border twice a week. And that's the same border that Laura Silsby was driving up. So you just have to wonder, why is this flow? Why is there's this constant flow up to the north part of Haiti, and this where the disaster happened, where the earthquake happened, there's nothing. So here's that president of the Senate saying they've exploited the Haiti earthquake. He also said they've exploited Haiti for 25 years, and that 2%, his number is 2% of the money actually went to Haiti. Everything else went to the Clinton folks in New York City. That's what he says. This pattern here of going after, the FBI is going after FIFA, the World Soccer executives. They're going after the World Race Car executives and so forth in Europe. And you wonder, how does that relate to terrorism exactly? And why is the FBI doing that? When right here in our own hemisphere, right in our own front door, we've got this happening. Why is this not being investigated? Of course, we got the $675,000 bribe. Of course, we have the quid pro quo with the State Department for more agents. What's happening here is they're taking a group of executives, and let's say there's 50 executives in this organization, and they're taking one and they're making an example out of one of them. And there's usually, you go back to these cases and you'll see there's one that really gets hit hard, and then all the other ones fall into line. That money is going to the Clinton Foundation. That's what you're going to find. And you're going to find James Comey did the same thing in 2002 and 2003 with the Martha Stewart, make an example out of her. And you're going to go down the line on all these cases, and you're going to find out there was one, what they call a coyote on the wire. And what they do is an old Texas term. When you catch one coyote, and you have a lot of coyotes coming in, You wrap one in barbed wire on the fence, and then the other coyotes see that, and then they fall in line. The other coyotes fall in line, and here comes the donations. So unfortunately, this is way bigger than I even thought when I started this. And I think you're going to find, just go to when you see a news article of a foreign executive being arrested by the FBI, and then look at the associated donations to the Clinton Foundation. That's it for today. Oh, and by the way, I want to say Happy Hanukkah to Eric Braverman, and I want to say Merry Christmas to Neil Brown and everybody here, because what's in their heart hopefully is redeemable, and we'll all have a great Christmas and Hanukkah. Thanks, everyone.